everyone. We are United by Rice, where we talk about all things API NH, entertainment, and beyond. My name is Junko Goda, and I'm here with my co-host Ben Lee.
Hey, Junko.
Hey.
So we have a fun guest today, Jackie
Yeah.
Dallas, who in our extended interview, actually, she gives a lot of time, talks about her breakthrough on the new show Hunting Wives on Netflix, which is a show I was
Yes.
surprised that you've watched
I
because
know.
look, we Squid Game was more or less when we launched this podcast, and it took you like 3 months to get to the end of Squid Game, but you got
Yeah.
through Hunting Wives in a day and a half.
Yeah, I know, because it was, so if no one is up to date on my streaming behaviors, I have switched. I thought I had to ditch Netflix completely because they're like $30 bajillion these days. Discovered that the $7.99 commercial plan isn't too bad. I had turned it on for a month between July 4th and August 4th, and I turned it on for my dogs because Extraction 2 was a very good movie during July 4th as a noise buffer for the fireworks. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I have 2 days left on my 1 month subscription, and Hunting Wives, and I hadn't seen Brittany Snow in a while.
Brittany Snow from Pitch
Uh,
Perfect, right? Probably most people
yes,
know
yeah,
her from
yeah,
there. Yep.
and I actually know her probably from one of a TV series she did when she was playing like an older teen. Uh, so Hunting Wives show is very, very interesting. Basically, Brittany Snow is her character moves from Boston to Texas, and not Austin, Texas, but like the red part of Texas, probably a fictional town, and her
Although most of
experiences.
Texas.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know.
Well, all I know is during the election when they draw the maps, right?
Oh,
Like, and kind of like most of the country, right? Your big cities are blue, but
yeah.
everything else is red. So
Yes.
Texas is very red
Yeah.
outside of like Austin and
Yeah.
near Houston, etc.
Yes, that's true. So, it was, like the pilot got me right off the bat, not only to just, see Brittany Snow, in a more complex role, but it was just intriguing to see like a New Englander be in a very red Texas context, because I definitely saw her comprehend everything through her eyes, and I would totally feel the same. It feels like uncomfortable, it's a little scary, but she's white. She's white in a white state, so that's a different experience for her versus me being clearly East Asian, being in Texas. It's a little different, but at least from yeah, I mean, I feel like, like there could be violence in my case, but not in the case of very white blonde Brittany. So
Well, yeah, to give a flavor too, right? Like I did watch, I think an episode plus,
yeah,
and
and
I
let's
think
be honest, this is not your show.
yeah,
I
but even
enjoyed
in the
it.
first episode, right, you have like one of the I think wives or at least someone in this community dropping a line like I remember there was a comment about abortion clinics, not being any abortion clinics anymore. It's like, well, yeah, we took care of that. It's like you just get these type of, she enters MAGA country. Surely she doesn't have these views, but she also realizes that this is the community that she has to coexist
Yeah.
and, in fact,
Yeah.
want to
And
be friendly with, right?
And actually, what kind of show it is because she's at a party and she just straight up calls out the local Texan, be like, "Oh, what you just said was racist." And that's within like the first like 15 minutes of the show or something. So, so that line, I think that's where you're like, "Okay, I know what this show is about." Um and we're just calling it out. We have this character who is calling out what we were thinking what happens next, because if you're not white and you do that to white people, you probably be in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So, at least that's how I feel. So it was a totally just intriguing show because I don't, especially right now in the political climate, no one willingly puts themselves into MAGA country. It's not like, uh, it's not like Black Like Me, which is a book from the 60s, I believe. Did you read that book?
No,
Oh,
I don't
it's
think
about
so.
this,
Yeah.
it's about a white journalist who takes melon or actually takes actual medication, so so his skin color is darker, and then he actually goes to the South
Wow.
and experiences, yeah,
It's like, yeah,
racism of the
okay.
South
Yeah.
kinda thing. But again, in 2025, no one's gonna voluntarily, I mean, yeah, there's some documentaries, um,
Is this,
but
by
again,
the way,
yeah.
whatever he took is the same stuff that like they sell it where Michael Jackson bought
Oh,
his
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like I didn't even know this was something you could do.
You
It
could
sounds
do,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it kinda makes sense, because I think someone,
I guess it's like tanning, right? I guess in some ways if you're going that direction.
but no, if you're consuming though, because there is some type of food or something, if you eat too much of it, you will turn blue. It will turn your skin blue, and it's a specific,
Well, that
food.
episode in an episode of The Pit, the kid turned blue. I forget
Oh,
what
there
he
you
ate though.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he consumed. Now we might have to look it up, but anyway,
I don't think our audience needs to know. Don't worry, don't
no.
look it up.
But again, so it was kind of and right now it was super, intriguing to watch this fictional show about, exploring a very red environment.
I mean, the feeling I got from the first episode, it feels very Desperate Housewives, except just dropped into this era of our political
Uh,
climate, right? Like,
yeah,
I assume like a murder, because I think even the very first episode or second episode, there's a
right.
body. So
Yeah,
there's some crime, some murder, some scandal. It probably involves one of these women that you've met. And Brittany's the kind of outsider coming in from New England, but this group of wives, kind of their leader, right,
yeah,
is played by Malin Ackerman,
yeah.
who
Super
also,
sexy.
yes,
Totally
looks
plays
wonderful,
MILF.
right?
Totally
Yeah,
plays MILF.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got that feel from the show. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually do keep watching it, even though I don't think I'm the target
And
audience.
actually, I think the impetus for season 2 is because in season 1 we are hinted at like juicy things that happen, juicy, spicy things that
Mm,
happen like behind curtains in this high tuned society. And they kept alluding to it, but we only hear about it. We never get them like, we never see them getting in
mm,
trouble because of that, but that could totally play into season 2.
I see.
As the, if the story progresses, hopefully, yeah, they'll get a season
Yeah,
2.
and we're very excited. So Jackie, who's our guest, she has a smaller role on the show. She shows up, I think, in episode 5
Yeah.
as the campaign manager for Dermot
Yes.
Mulroney's character, who's running for governor. He plays the husband of Malin Ackerman's character. But very excited for her because it sounds weird to say that I've tracked her for a while, but
Mm.
when you do the type of podcast we're doing, I kind of know who all the, or not all, but I know many of the actors and actresses out there that are trying to break through. And she's someone that I've seen. We talk about the panels or talks she does, but she's been uh, invited often to speak about Asian American representation. As you saw, she's very well spoken about the topic. So someone that you want to root for, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and you could tell in the first few minutes of this conversation that we had, and maybe actually if you listen to us more often, watch the video on Spotify or on YouTube, because you can actually see how meaningful this role is to her, this moment in time that she got a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bigger part than her normal on a show that has become a runaway hit on Netflix. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited for her.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope everyone enjoys this episode
Yeah.
with Jackie Dallas.
Yeah, and go watch Hunting Wives too, because
Yep.
even like I said, even I enjoyed it, which is not my normal cup of tea. But if Junko can binge it in 2 days, that tells you that it is good TV. All
Yep.
right, thanks everyone, and enjoy. Hi everyone, we're back with Jackie Dallas. She is our guest, someone I've wanted to have on the show for quite a long time because you see her, you'll recognize her from a lot of different shows, but she's got a hit show on her hands right now playing on Netflix called The Hunting Wives. So welcome Jackie to the show.
Yay.
Hey, hello, thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, before we get into the hunting wives, I know that you recently were at San Diego Comic Con. I had met you in the 2024 San Diego Comic Con. Any highlights from this year's show?
Gosh, I mean, San Diego Comic-Con's always just such a fun time. Like an
How many
overwhelming fun time, right?
how many
Like,
years have you been going?
probably like 6 years now or so, I'd say.
Mm,
Yeah. I think I got lucky. I got to fill in a slot during the
mm,
like, right after the
mm.
pandemic. Everyone was kinda nervous about getting back into it.
I
Now they
see.
can't get rid of me.
Yeah. And what did you
Nice.
do there? I remember in 24, you did a panel around kind of Asian American representation, I think, in TV. Did you do a similar type of panel this year?
Similar panel this year, yep,
Okay.
celebrating Asian Americans in entertainment. Yep.
Well,
And
wonderful.
do you remember who else was on the panel?
Who else was on the panel? Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had a great spread this year. James hold on, I wanna get everyone's names
I know,
right.
I was like, I could actually look it up right now instead of putting you on the spot, but
You guys edit this, right?
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, we're always like, "Who is an actor's name?" And then there's, like, two
Yeah,
and a half minutes of, like, searching or whatever, and we're just talking shit,
yeah,
and we're like, "Oh, found it," and just edit
totally,
it
totally.
together.
I just don't I wanna make sure I get everyone's name right. Okay, I'll
Yeah, I know, we do
go
that
over
all the
again so
time.
we've got a seamless thing. Um Yeah, it was a similar panel this year, celebration of Asian American entertainers, and we had a pretty good group of friends. A couple of girls that I know personally, Teresa Navarro and Cindy Chu and Gina Sue. But then you've
Yeah,
got like
yeah.
some veterans like James Liu and Rich Ting and Simon
Mm,
Oh, Rich.
Lee. My friend Ming Chen is there,
mm.
all moderated by Francis Kong, who also
Hmm.
runs Miss Asia a pageant up in the Bay Area, so I don't know if you know him, Ben, but
Yeah, I don't know him, but I've seen him a couple times.
Mhm.
He's done some events at like Stanford University. He's very involved in like the
Yeah,
Asian American community here in the Bay Area. So
Yeah,
very
I'm
cool.
glad he does that. And then did you
Nice.
have your autograph signing table again?
I did. I had my little table, my photos,
How
everything
many
like that.
hours do you do?
So San Diego's pretty good about, like, giving you this like, an afternoon shift or a morning shift, so I do
Okay.
afternoons just because I like to sleep in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I've only gone to cons because I work it and I'm paid to be there, so
Yeah.
so I have a different view, but I've been doing it, ooh,
Just a
cons for,
quick
like, over a
question.
decade now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Quick question for you on the autograph signing. What's the photo that is your bestseller?
Ah.
So a lot of people like my screenshots. So I've got a
Mm,
screenshot from Stranger Things.
okay.
Stranger Things is a really popular
Mm.
Sure.
the genre
Yeah.
series.
Good to know your audience.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's what
you definitely make extra copies of those.
I've got
Um,
modeling photos I throw in there.
yeah, 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 it's like, yeah, once you're an actor, it's kinda like, "Oh, can you send us a headshot?" I'm like, "Sure, I got a ton." Right, and,
Actually,
like,
it's funny.
when you need it for, like, the real world stuff, they're like, "Oh, can you send a
Yeah.
photo?" Or like, "Yeah, let me look, okay. Oh, here's my headshot, my businesswoman headshot. There you go." Right?
It's so funny because we don't actually use like physical headshots anymore, because now
I know.
everything's are virtual and
Yeah,
I have, like, a stack of old headshots because you had to
yeah,
come out before, right?
right.
You had, like, your,
Yep,
the girl next door or the bitchy teacher or
yep. The
like, all the
young
things,
mom,
right?
yeah, yep.
It's like, "Well, let me get rid of let me get rid
I
of"
know, I know. So now are you still so the autographs that you do sign, they're still in the headshot format size, or is it cheaper to do the 8 by
I just do the
standard?
10s, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would think that'd be
Order it
cheaper.
in bulk now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, collectors like something that they can put on a wall, right? Frame or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
so
so
hunting wives. Can I read the
yes,
log line because I actually brought it up?
Yeah, do it.
good. Yes.
The premise. Oh, yes. Okay. Set in Maplebrook. This is from Wikipedia, by the way. Set in, in Maplebrook, a fictional East Texas town, Sophie, a young woman and mom, falls into an affluent socialite's seductive orbit, where a circle of housewives have dangerous secrets themselves that culminates in her becoming a prime suspect in the death of a teenage girl. Yes, so I binged it in whatever, a day and a half.
Yeah,
So,
Junko, by the way, that's impressive for Junko because she doesn't watch everything I watch, and so when she told me that she actually watched this show, she didn't know that I had invited you to be on, and she's like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, because I was like, "Oh, Brittany Snow's, oh, okay," and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is an interesting premise," but because I spent so much time on the East Coast and stuff, so it was intriguing, and I think Brittany's, like, the right guide
Mhm.
for the audience to take us through a very red state environment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I did read up on like some of your auditioning process, which was just like one and done. Congratulations, girl.
Thank
So
you.
this girl,
wait,
yeah.
I have an important question here.
Oh, oh, oh.
Did they cast you because your name is Jackie Dallas and they didn't know you were an Asian person?
I hope they figured out she might be Asian.
It's just the funniest thing that this is a show about a bunch of
Yeah,
Texans.
It's
yeah,
such a fun name, isn't it? Jackie
They
it
should
Dallas.
have just
is.
they should have just used your name on the show. Why'd you? Yeah, you should just be Jackie Dallas in every show.
Should just be Jackie Dallas on camera, off camera.
That'd be really
Yeah,
funny.
that would get confusing, I imagine. This sort of character in this sort of show.
mm.
Junko, I cut you off though. You had a
No, no,
question.
not at all. 'Cause I was just saying props. I'm like, this girl booked the show off of one and done self tape. You sent it off, and you're like, hey, your agent's like, hey, you're booked.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
so
Is
great, yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's the first time in your career.
Um, I
Well, I
mean,
mean, but self tapes. I mean, I should say in the last 5 years because auditioning has completely changed in the last 5 years. So in the last 5 years, booking right off the bat, self
yeah,
tape.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think it really just depends on the role, it depends on the
Yeah,
show. There are some
yeah,
shows
yeah,
that move much faster than others, and then
yeah,
depending on
yeah,
the size of your role, if it's a small like, if it's a co-star, you just you have a couple of lines, then there really isn't a need to go through so many callbacks and so forth, so
yeah.
I have booked straight from tape before, but it's always nice, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Makes you feel
So
like you've been
three.
right.
And did you know that it'd be more than one episode, like 3 episodes?
Yeah, yeah, they tell you at the
Great.
beginning where it's gonna be recurring, and, they have all the disclaimers, "Are you comfortable with this sort of content?" So, make
Mm.
sure that you are already entering into an understanding of what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, because, like, that pilot, you're like, "Ooh, oh," like, there
It's
is such a
exciting.
curiosity. It's because I think Brittany's character is curious, a
Mhm.
little bit there's, like, 10% of being repelled by the culture that is and the culture that is portrayed is a very red Texas, not Austin. Yeah, not Austin,
Yes.
or probably Dallas proper from what I hear. Um, and it was more about catching the audience's curiosity instead of being repelled, which is kind of what we've been trained to do for the last 8 to 10 years. So, it was very interesting. So, um, with that, so because it did feel uncomfortable for that first episode, right? Well, at least I did. I was
Well,
like, "Oh,
so is your yeah.
yeah,
I guess I'll ask a question, right? Because
yeah."
I watched the first episode. I haven't finished, and Jackie, I'm probably not the target demographic. I could be wrong. Um,
Yeah.
but I agree with Junko that the first episode it's not overtly like, oh, this is going to be MAGA, anti-red state, but clearly we know the environment we're in. But what do you think the message of the show is? Like, what are audiences taking away from it? Because it's clearly very popular, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and
been on
so,
the
like yeah.
top shows in Netflix for a few weeks now.
Yeah, and it feels like production knew that, so how yeah, when you were saying they wanted to make sure you knew what you were getting into, what was that like?
Well, you have to keep in mind that this show originally was supposed to air on Stars. So, it was
Oh,
originally
interesting,
branded as a Stars
Oh.
series.
And it's
interesting.
also based
Okay,
on a book, right?
Yes, it is based off of
Okay,
a book by
okay.
Meg it's a bestseller. It's really, really good too.
Eh. Okay, maybe I'll read that.
They took this book and they wanted to turn it into a series, and Stars was like, "We will distribute it." And, Stars there's certain networks that are a little bit spicier than others, and so the content was suitable for that.
Mhm.
However, I guess last year, Stars and Lionsgate they had a split. And so Lionsgate kept Hunting Wives
Yeah.
because they made it, and so
Yeah.
now it was kinda homeless for a period of time. 'Cause
Ah.
it was back in July last year,
Okay. Yep.
or, like, May, like, I filmed my scenes in May, June, July, so
Okay.
this was a while ago, and it took a minute for it to, like, find a new home, but Netflix was, like, welcoming us with open arms, and honestly, like, it's so exciting because Netflix
Yeah.
is the largest viewer base, right? So it's like if you wanna get a show seen, you wanna put it on
Yeah.
Netflix.
So is this the first time you've transitioned between 2 distributors, I guess, so to speak, or been in between
I
companies?
I
Mm.
I think so for my case, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure
Yeah, yeah,
'cause
but it feels like you felt it. Yeah, but it seems
I
like you
know.
felt it,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Or
definitely.
maybe it's just because you're going to Netflix and they're huge ginormous.
I mean, it was really cool just being told that we were gonna get released on Netflix because now, like, everyone can watch it, because before a lot of the things I was encountering was like, "Oh, I've got this new series on Stars," and
Mm.
a lot of people are like, "Oh, okay, I'll have to get Stars to, like, watch it," or
Mhm.
people sign up
Right.
for free,
Yeah,
trial
the
period.
trial. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of, it's one of those things where you're like, "Well, I hope people watch it," but then on the flip side,
Mhm.
once Netflix takes it, now you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, now everyone is gonna see this, like, my mom is gonna see this."
Are there things you did not like your mom seeing in your career?
But it's a hurdle, it's something I hadn't really thought of before.
Oh, mhm.
It's all there now.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I have to ask you, you don't have to go into specifics, but once that distribution deal changes, does your do you and your agent have a conversation about negotiating?
I
Did
don't think
anything like
I
that
think it's out of
changed?
I think it's out of our control at that point
Okay,
because
it sounds like they just transferred the contract.
it just
You didn't have a yeah, yeah.
yeah, and, like, there isn't a major change because it's still,
Yeah.
like, one version of streaming to another.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess it would be different contractually. I guess it would be different if it was like, I was supposed to go to theaters first, or I
Mm.
was going to theaters, for, like, a movie or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. I see, I see. Because like, Netflix is a big change,
It's a
so,
big
like, the
change.
whole distribution model changed from when you were cast to when it was actually out there, so I was kinda wondering the business end.
Yeah, I don't know as much about the business side of that.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, look," like, you open your checking account, you're like, "Oh, look."
Yeah.
Yeah. They so
I just get
so
paid
Jackie, I
you know?
in listening to some of your enthusiasm about the show and seeing some of your other interviews,
Mhm.
you're a veteran. I guess I would call you like a character actor, right? You've been in a quite a bit since you started your career. But does this feel like a different moment in your career
Yeah.
because of the it's not you're not one of the, I guess, main cast, but you're in a few episodes, a memorable role with lots of lines, and it's on Netflix, and it's a top show. Okay, because you've been part, like you referenced earlier, Stranger Things. You've been a
Mm.
part of big properties, but I get the sense that you feel like this is something different.
This feels very different for me. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I feel like, I mean, as an actor, you always want bigger opportunities, right? Like, you wanna grow, you want your career to grow, and, this show, I feel, opens the door to
Mm.
potentially, multiple seasons, not just multiple episodes, if we get renewed, and that's very exciting to me as an actor, you know what I mean? It is probably the meatiest role I've had to date, which is also really fun, outside of a movie, like a
Right.
standalone, but as far as, like, something that
Mhm.
people can watch, it's pretty exciting. Like, Stranger Things
Yeah.
was just a one and done for me. I was just in one
Mm.
Right.
episode, it was a small, very side character of a side character role, and it was fun when, people see it and they get excited, but this show, with it being number 1, like, all at once, I mean, let me tell you,
Mm.
my phone just started blowing up with text messages, and screenshots, and DMs, and it was really, really cool. It was a really cool thing to, like, be a part of.
So
Well,
if your friend
congratulations.
yeah,
That's wonderful. Yeah.
so if, like, your friends turn you into a meme all of a sudden?
Yeah, that would be I feel like I have some really good bitch face moments.
Bad.
Well,
Yeah,
Kinko
so all
gave
of a
us
sudden yeah.
Chuko gave us the log line. You want to tell us more about your character?
Yeah, within the universe.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I play Zhao Yi. She comes in at the later half of the season, and essentially, I don't know how much to give away for people who haven't seen it yet,
That's
but
true.
essentially, Margot's husband Jed is thinking about running for the governor of Texas, and obviously, when you get into that kind of political limelight, then everything comes under scrutiny, and you want to make sure you have a nice, clean, squeaky slate. Um, Obviously, the nature of the show, a murder happens, and there are some scandals and scandalous things that need to
Of
get swept under the
course,
rug.
of course.
So he hires a campaign manager, and that is my character.
Mm.
So she comes in to kind of help manage his campaign and get rid of anything that is not suitable for the limelight for them. Hmm.
Very, well, very good. Thank you. And yeah, I'm just curious. The name is it's not an Americanized name. It's not Jackie Dallas.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
was
it's
there?
me.
Yeah. Like, is that the character name in the book? Does that come from like the original story, or is this a character that was created for the show?
So this is a character that was created for the show, but in the audition, the character name was Zhao Yi. So that wasn't it wasn't like they were always considering an Asian actress for
Hmm.
this role, which is really nice because also, I mean, her ethnicity really doesn't have anything to do with her characters. So it's just nice that they are, being so inclusive, like right off
Yeah.
the bat. The writers are always like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
someone in. So I think that's pretty nice.
Now, on the flip side, though, what do you think, yeah, that the casting intention was then? Like, cause I do remember when you pop up on screen, I'm like, "Oh," like all of us, we're like, "Oh, Asian person, Asian person!"
She's one of us.
Right, right. I just recreated every little squealing Asian
That's
soul
so funny.
Yeah.
that watches your show. Like, "Ah, Asian person!"
Yeah. And I guess that was the nature of my question too. Like, do you think that they intended to have someone that was more maybe a newer immigrant Asian, or just what did they envision the character to be? Or
Well, you can't be a newer I mean, story-wise, you can't be a newer immigrant because she's the campaign manager, so you kinda have to know what you're doing.
yeah, yeah, so
I'm not
yeah.
saying, like, new immigrants can't be campaign managers. I'm not saying that. Please be a campaign manager.
Only shows like us try to overanalyze a question like this, Jackie, by the way.
I mean, I think it's a smart way to include an inclusive character.
Mhm.
This is a pretty small little slice of that world, meaning it's a very rich, affluent red state, East Texas, circle of women. And they tend to be of the, lighter shade variety. And I think they, you know, try to find ways to make it inclusive. And honestly, I appreciate that. I
Yeah,
don't.
and I mean, there's so many Vietnamese in
Mhm.
Texas
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Vietnamese
there's
Chinese, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
we look around,
yeah.
we're everywhere.
Yeah, that too. So, yeah, and I feel like there was still, like, an intentionality to, like, yes, we're in Texas, but, like, we can certainly have an Asian campaign manager pop up.
Who knows what I can't say, like, what the writers are, hoping for or what they're
Mhm,
planning or, they might lean into. I mean, here's the thing, this show, part of the reason it's so fun is because it plays off of certain tropes,
mhm.
right? This whole red state thing, like, it
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
like, you watch it for 5 seconds and you're like, "I know exactly what this is going to
Right.
be like. I know exactly who these characters are supposed to be," right? Love them, hate them, whatever, you know them. Um, so who knows? Maybe in season 2, they'll lean into some tropes, some Asian tropes.
It's coming. I'm sure it's coming. Or it seems
They
like
are
it would fit.
Yeah, oh, and Ben and I haven't read the book, but does the book cover was it season 1 or is it part of season 1?
it's just season 1, but I will
Okay.
say that there are differences between the book and the show.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
yeah, like,
yeah, so there's
usually, you say the book's better
We
than the
won't
TV
spoil it,
show
but
and all that, but
and so to that end, is there a series of books, or will any future seasons essentially be created for
I think
the
it'll be
show?
created at this point.
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Now you
lot to
talk.
create, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, I think when they made when they adapted it for the screen, they took they were very clever, I will say, in how they added twists so that even if you know the book, even if you read the book, you're still gonna enjoy the ride, you know?
Mm,
There's still gonna be things that throw you off. There's still gonna be like, "Oh, well, maybe," you're gonna second guess yourself a little bit. There's like a twist to the twist. I don't think
Mhm.
that's
mm.
it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah.
Over, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
I think the way the show ends between all the, like, loose ends with all the main characters and the new characters that they have brought in, there are, there's any number of directions that season 2 could go in.
Mhm, mhm.
Mm, mm.
Now your the feeling that you have about, being a part of something like this that is now special in your career, did you feel this on set too? Did you feel like this is something special? You got to spend enough time with the rest of the cast and crew and see some of these scenes unfold?
I think that everyone kind of had, there was this, like, playfulness and this fun on set. I think everyone was really into the project. They were having a great time with it. You get to do all these, like, fun, goofy, crazy things,
Mm.
and it's all part of your job,
Wait,
right?
wait, wait,
Mhm.
can we get an example of crazy other than not duck hunting, but clay shooting?
The
Clay shooting.
bonding and the relationships and, yeah, and I know, like, Malin and Brittany, they've done interviews where they talked about how the circle, the hunting wives, they all became a very close-knit group of friends because it was so much fun, you know? I wasn't part of those scenes, so
Right, right, right. Yeah.
in a circle, but I will say the energy on the set was really, really positive, and I think everyone knew that it was going to be a great show. I don't know if everyone had the expectation that it was gonna be, I mean, we didn't know it was gonna be on Netflix, first of all,
Yeah,
but,
that's
Mhm.
right, right, right.
becoming a number 1 on Netflix is, like, it's so
Yeah.
cool. It's so cool.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now just a
But
sw
sometimes
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
well, sometimes even on Netflix, you're the victim of the algorithm, right? You don't
yeah,
know
That's
that's
true.
whether
true.
you're gonna get promoted enough or not.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. Now, maybe we'll just have to campaign for the campaign manager to get you a bigger part of the Hunting Wives circle in
Well, if
season 2 in future seasons.
he's supposed to run for governor, it
Like, I
supposedly into season 2, so maybe, but
Yeah.
and, just so I can switch gears a little bit, um what did you learn? Like, did you come out appreciating things you didn't think you'd appreciate? Because you were shooting in North Carolina
yeah.
for a fictional Texas. Um, but personally, just being in North Carolina. Oh, and if you could tell us, like how long you got to live in North Carolina and all that stuff.
So, we shot the show in blocks. It's 8 episodes, and they did 2 episodes per block, so,
Okay, got
I
it.
did 5 and 6. That was all during one trip. Excuse me. So I went out to Charlotte, and we were filming out there for a few days, and then came back home, and then went back again for the last block for episode 8.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of a back and forth little thing, not too bad. Um, I've never worked in North Carolina before, so that was really cool. Charlotte was really nice, really cute
Hot
city,
and humid a little bit that time of year, though,
hot
if you
and
were
humid.
shooting
Yeah,
in
that's
June,
right.
July. Yep.
I'm originally from Florida though, so I feel like
Okay.
hot and the humid is like, meh,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff, it's cool. So that was nice. I'd say, like, one of the things I learned on this production was that, this is the most screen time and interaction I've had with major actors on a single project. Usually when I
Mhm.
come in as a day player, either I interact with, side characters, or if it's a procedural show, even though you're with the main cast, I mean, they work with dozens of actors
Yeah,
every week, so
yeah.
has a slightly different vibe to it, and then me coming in on this, knowing that it was a recurring role, knowing that I was gonna be working with Malin, Brittany, Dermot, like 1, 2, and 3 on the call sheet, like, that was just, it was really cool, and it was very, motivating, I would say, like, not to say I don't take my job seriously normally, but, like, this one, I was like, I need to be on it, you know?
Mhm.
I need
Mhm.
to be on it. Um, and it was good that, like, I also learned to kinda channel, like, focus a little bit better. So there's
Mm.
a personal story,
Yeah, yeah.
just posted on Instagram, like,
Uh-huh.
2 days ago, but when I went back to film episode 8, my grandmother had actually passed away that morning.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
That's why I twist yeah, the mood here,
sorry
sorry.
to hear that, of course.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
like, this was it was,
It's a
not unexpected. She was
yeah,
95 years
but
old,
yeah.
had a great life.
That's good life, that's good
I
life.
had spent, like, the whole week before, like, at home with my family, saying our goodbyes and everything, so I don't feel like
That's
I
good.
missed that, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
But then I left, and then the very first morning I woke up and, I got a text message. So, one of the things that I definitely learned was, like, focusing and, kind of learning that I have that capacity in myself to be able to, focus on this when I need to, and then focus on this when I need to, and, it was really challenging, but I don't know, just kind of being able to rise to that occasion and
Mhm.
do my job the way I need
Yeah.
to do it,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
see it now and be, like, so proud of how it turned out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there something that you carry of or from your grandmother that you use as an actor or some ism or yeah, like a grandmother-ism that you're like, "Oh, I could totally use this." And
Oh,
that's how she she still makes an appearance in this plane of existence right through you.
yeah, I think maybe the one thing that I do remember her saying is because she watches all of my stuff, right? My aunt will, like, turn on the TV for her, be
Yeah,
like,
and
"Look."
she's already watched Hunting Wives.
She she didn't speak English very well, but she would watch it and just, "Oh, yeah, okay." Uh,
Yeah.
she would say to speak slower.
Mm.
I think it's a
Mm,
tendency or either nervous or under pressure,
mhm.
Mhm,
speed
mhm.
up our speech, so I always speak a little slower for my grandma.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
That's sweet.
same.
Mhm.
You again, I'll dive back into this feeling that you have of potential opportunities around the corner, whether it's more seasons of Hunting Wives or just, being seen on a big show like this and getting other opportunities that way. Um, because you've been also an advocate for Asian Americans in film and television, uh, we touched upon the panels that you do at Comic Con and other events. How do you see that landscape also evolving, and does that play into why you see more opportunities for yourself coming up?
I think the landscape is evolving, and I think it's so great. It's about time. And we still have a ways to go for sure, but, um, yeah, we talked about this on the panel at San Diego, and it was such a good conversation, hearing the perspectives of, the veteran actors who have been doing this for decades, and, I've been working at this for about a decade now, and, there's other actors who are maybe 4 or 5 years in, and it's a vastly different experience, I will say, and
Yeah.
I think part of it is, like, when you become more experienced, you have more credits under your belt, then, yeah, naturally, the opportunities are gonna broaden to, like, bigger roles and not these stereotypical type of roles, but when I was first starting out, I mean, like, 75% of my auditions were stereotypical Asians, either, like, the nail technician or the masseuse or, someone who deliberately is written with an accent, and I think back and fortunately, I had not had to take on any of those roles because I feel like it wouldn't have been authentic to me as an Asian American, right? So I think it was, fortuitous that I didn't have to take on any of those roles to get my
And did you say no to those roles is what you're saying? Because I would never begrudge someone to
I
take a
didn't say
role, right?
no.
People are breaking it, people
When
are
you're
trying to break
starting out
in,
as an
right?
actor, you take whatever you can get, you
Yep,
know?
yep.
The industry is so hard as it is. I mean, even now, it's a struggle to be able to, like,
Yeah, especially
ugh,
post strikes, post
yeah.
double strikes.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot
been
going on.
rough.
I would never judge anyone for taking on any kind of roles, but I just I think back and I personally, I just feel a little grateful that I didn't have to don an accent that wasn't natural to me. Um, or, have to take on a role that was, like, heavily fetishized or, almost exploitive in a way, and, there's a lot of those roles out there. You could just as easily say, like, for female roles, there's a lot of roles out there that require nudity for no reason other than just gratuity, you know? Um, And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't shame that at all. But it's just, when you look back and see what you've had the opportunities to, what's the word I'm looking for? The things that you have been able to book, I think it aligns the path for you. I'm very grateful for that. I auditioned for all of those, I just never got it. I think
Yeah.
my Asian accent's not great.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is, that's what it boils down to.
Well, and
Yeah, yeah.
as your resume grows too, you get maybe just a little bit more opportunity in the future to be able to influence your
Mhm,
character, right? So even if you read a script that, hey, you know what, this feels wrong,
mhm,
you
mhm.
should have a little bit more power on your side to be able to say, hey, can we consider something like this, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
we're
great thing about the space that we're in,
yeah.
or the evolving space that we're in, where
Yeah,
I
like,
think producers,
producers,
directors are more open to that.
yeah, they're open to that because I think most of them are actually just fearful of the backlash, right? Because you can't do 16 Candles with Getty Watanabe's role in 2025. Like, that's just you're gonna ruin your own career,
Yeah.
right? So we're kind of also at this culmination. Okay, all right, gotta switch gears. We have a fourth person or fourth being. You have to introduce your little one who just I heard a little arf. You have to introduce your little one. He or she snuck in.
Okay, so I have 2 of them. Um,
Ah.
they're mini huskies.
Yes, beautiful.
Ooh, hello.
Look over here, over here, over here.
No. Oh, hello.
Beautiful,
Ah.
beautiful.
This is Sylvie.
Hello,
Sylvie,
Sylvie.
okay.
She's 2 years old, so
Hmm.
she's all grown up, and she's teeny
Yep.
tiny. Okay, no kisses, no kisses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, let's lick all that makeup. I have two. I have two, and Ben has two. Ben has two Shih Tzus, and I have two. Oh, is that one a little bit older?
This one's a little older. This is
And
Harley,
bigger. Yeah,
and she's 4.
Oh, yeah. Mine are
cute.
2 and 7.
I like
And
how their ears kind of are floppier than maybe the bigger huskies,
Oh,
huh?
I think
oh yeah,
she's
that's
just
true.
her ears are stuck. Hey, let me see if she'll perk her ears up for you.
Oh,
Very cute.
No,
very nice to meet them. Oh,
and Sylvie's the one that's yappy yappy.
got it. I was like, we are a dog friendly podcast. We will leave
Yeah,
that in. I'm like, oh, heard a bark. Gotta,
yeah.
gotta
Except I
introduce them.
try not to let my dogs in here because they just hump each other the whole
Yeah,
time, and
that's
it's very
right.
distracting. It's very distracting. Let's just be honest.
Well,
Yeah, and we've had podcasts with the Olivia Munn podcast. I'm like, let's
yeah.
just have the dogs here. So I set up like on the floor so that they were like around me all the time. But anyway.
Aw. Well, she does like animal charities, right?
Yeah, she's still big in that world too. So it was a
Yeah.
of course thing. But yes, okay, I'm glad we had to introduce the elephants in the room, the mini
Yeah.
huskies in the room. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You're gonna be
eh. Oh, hey, you know what? Can I just ask you an everyday question? So when you were shooting last year, do you board them? Do you take them with you? Do you have a dog sitter?
Yeah, so I have well, when I was shooting, so my husband didn't come with me. He's home. And so he takes over daddy duty full time.
Okay, I got it.
Well, we also do have a wonderful, wonderful house sitter. So we have the 2 dogs. I have a cat. I have a bunch of
Oh,
I have plants.
oh,
And so when
yeah,
we travel for extended periods of time, yeah, we have someone who comes over and house sits for us,
yep,
watches our pets.
yep.
And our
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm trying to like figure out that strategy because it's like as a human being with responsibilities, we're like, because we can get called and we're out of the country for 6 months, and I'm always like, yeah, and I'm
it's
like, okay.
predictable.
You have this the spouse, so that always helps. But still, so yeah, but that is for Ben and any other listeners, that is kind of our lifestyle. Like, you get a call and like 3 weeks later you could just be out of the country for 6 months or
Understood.
more.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
even like, "Hey, we need you in Atlanta in 3 days."
And
Like,
three, yeah, on the flip side, yeah,
"Okay." Need
yep,
to get
Well,
my life together.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so Jackie, you talked about grandma. But I know your story a little bit too from I think last year's Comic Con panel where you talked about you had also the typical Asian parents and ended up going to medical school and studied to be a surgeon. Talk about your background a little bit and um what really what happened in your life to make the pivot and
Yeah,
say, you know what,
Jackie,
I don't.
speak to those Asian medical students who are like, "Oh, shit,"
Wait,
and
what
then
gave
they
you
can
the
just do something
confidence,
else.
right? To like just move to say, you know what? I know I did this, but I'm gonna go and pursue acting.
Come on, speak to those medical students having second thoughts about their careers.
It's acting is hard. Being a doctor is
Mhm.
hard. I mean, I think there are just living these days, honestly, like in our
Yeah.
society today, it doesn't
A
matter
lot
what
is
you
hard,
do.
yes.
It's hard.
Damn it. Yeah. Yep.
And I think that, finding what is obviously easier said than done, but like finding what makes you happy and what drives you and what you're passionate about and what you are willing to wake up every day and deal with the bullshit that comes with it. If you love what you do, then you'll figure it out and you'll handle it. Working in medicine was something that, like, I grew up in a family of doctors. And so for me, going to med school was just the next step in school. It wasn't a second thought for me. There were no other options available.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just to get me a little bit specific, are your parents and relatives, are they general practitioners or are they
So my dad was a general practitioner, my
Uh-huh.
mom was a pediatrician, my
Uh,
uncle is an interventional radiologist, my
yeah,
other uncle is an oncologist,
yeah,
my sister is an OB-GYN.
yeah.
It just like everyone.
Yeah,
Everybody,
you got to
everybody.
basically
Yeah.
shadow the entire hospital if you chose to.
Yeah, exactly. I could it's whatever specialty. Um, so I, did that whole route, and it was something that I hmm, every step of the way, I kept telling myself it was gonna get better. It was gonna get
Mm,
easier.
mm,
Like when you're in school, it's like, oh, I don't know about you guys. I hate school. I'm a good
Because
student, but
you didn't take a break, right? Like you did the original undergraduate, then off to medical
yeah,
Yeah,
school,
straight to
right?
medical school. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
still have nightmares about finals, trust me. Yeah.
I think those have finally stopped.
I was
But
never a good student, so
oh my god. So I hated school. I shouldn't say I hated school. Like, school was just not the thing that thrilled me in the day. You know what I mean? Like, um, so I was like, "Okay, well, maybe when I'm in med school, then I'm focusing on, like, what I want to do." And med school is just it's really tough. There's very difficult subjects, and you have to learn all of it. And if you're not passionate about, like, embryology, you still have to learn it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Um and then I was like, "Oh, well, maybe when I start residency,
Mm,
then I'll, like, be working as a doctor. It'll be great." Starting clinicals, and then you realize, like, how little sleep you get, and I'm like, "Oh
right.
god, this is so hard." Like, maybe when
Yeah.
I'm a senior resident or something. I just kept telling myself it was gonna be better and better and better, and for me, it made me realize that I didn't enjoy the journey of it. I
Mm,
didn't enjoy the process of it.
mm,
I kept thinking, like, what is the end goal here? And I think a lot of people go into medicine for very altruistic reasons. They wanna help people. They want to make people better and, better the world, one patient at a time, but the reality of medicine is extremely administrative, it's
mm,
bureaucratic, it's political,
yeah.
it's very business oriented in
Mhm.
a way that feels so out of your control as a doctor.
Yeah.
Many fields, unless you have your own practice,
Mm,
you work for a hospital,
right.
and you're kind of at their beck and call of, you need to see X number of patients a day. You need to see a new patient every 15 minutes. You need to,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
very regimented
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and it's very challenging when you want to be a good doctor. You want to be that patient who is finding out that they have cancer. You wanna give them more than 15
Yeah.
minutes,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
becomes really, really challenging, and, I pursued surgery first because I wanted to be a surgeon, and that has its own set of challenges, and when things go wrong because, inexplicably, you can have bad outcomes even though you do everything right. It's just the nature of the human body. Um, it's really, really difficult having to have those conversations on a time constraint or recommending certain procedures or workup or diagnostic things that insurance companies don't want to pay for. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? And
mhm.
it just became a whole like it was very stressful.
So
And how far
yeah.
do you got all the way through medical school into residency?
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I got into a
Yeah,
surgical
yeah, yeah,
residency.
yeah. No, I would just say I was like, I think Ben and I would highly recommend for your agents to submit you on the not announced yet HBO's The Pit.
God, the pit. I like I would kill to be on that show.
Right? Because if you're gonna relive that, you might as well relive that off of a character on a script. That's
Yeah,
like the best way to live
we
out that
had
life, that
we had
version
one
of
of the
you.
actors,
Talk about
Issa.
authenticity. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did like 8 months of, uh, emergency medicine
Yeah.
consult service,
yeah.
you know?
Yep.
You would know all the dialogue would be like this to you, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, yeah.
husband and I we actually couldn't binge watch that show.
Ah,
It's
yeah,
not
We
it's
binge watchable.
intense.
It's
stopped every
intense.
episode or
Yeah,
2
Maybe
because it was
yeah.
very triggering, you know? We're like,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I was an
That
EMT
is
for
a
4
show.
years too,
yeah,
so I
wow.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a show, you're right, that it's like you got to go. That's what hourly, like the traditional, like an hour a week. That's a perfect hour a week
Yeah.
type of show.
Yeah.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
and kind of what you were talking about not finding the joy in medicine. Yeah, back in the day thought I could be a veterinarian. First of all, I was not smart enough to be one. Uh, but second of all, I learned very early on that I'm sorry, but a lot of times human beings are just shit. Cause like my first day, I just saw like very, I guess, yeah, unfortunately, not great core memory of how a person treated their dog. And I was just like, and it was like on the first day of shadowing, and I'm like, no, this is not for me. Definitely not. And I just like crossed that off of I'm like, I love animals, but I was like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
because humans under different circumstances, financially, whatever, I'm like, I can't handle that. I just realized that. And I think it's altruistic, right?
Mhm.
Going in and then you're reminded you are meeting people on their worst day, depending on the
More
case and your
very
department and
often,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that part you don't see in your 20s
Right,
and
right.
stuff, right? Yeah.
And
So Jackie, how did your so you went through this journey, and during all this time, like residency, medical school, there's no time to act, right? You're not doing theater or anything,
God,
correct?
no.
Yeah, no
There's
classes
no
or
time
anything.
there's no time to do
Yeah,
anything
Yeah.
other than
no.
medicine. You
Yeah.
become very one-track minded.
Right.
Yeah, so then where, maybe we probably just kind of cut you off, but where did that moment come where you're able to, like, you know what, I'm done with this, and here's the opportunity I'm going to go chase, and then how did that conversation with mom and dad go?
And
Yeah,
the entire medical family and your fellow residents, etc. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, and we don't hear as much as you think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind
like
of is
you just
chirping here and there, but it's fine because we already introduced him, so we already know.
story hour.
Yeah.
Um, so I actually did pivot already once in the field of medicine. So I had started doing this is not going to work either.
All right.
I started off doing surgery and learned within that first year that it was not going to be something long
Yeah,
term.
yeah, yeah.
It's going to burn out way too fast.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually pivoted once already to pathology. Pathology, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like biopsies, surgical specimens, autopsies. I already had the anatomical training, so
Ah,
kind of made sense. It was an easy transition for me.
yeah.
No emergencies because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they are not going anywhere.
so I did that, and life got easier. My schedule got a lot more flexible, and that's when I
That's true.
started doing a little bit of acting again. I was in Chicago at the time. I was like, hey, I've got weekends again. I've got evenings again. Let me find a creative an outlet. So I started doing background work. I started
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
student
yeah.
films. I kind of stumbled into the acting world again.
Chicago's good. I grew up outside of Chicago, and
Yeah, they have a really
like
good, like,
it's a good
welcoming.
community. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very open and warm and welcoming and, great for people starting out because
Mhm.
there's just
Definitely.
enough work there that you can
Yeah.
get your foot in the door, but
And Second City is there and
yeah,
for
there's so much.
training and yeah.
So, I started doing that on the weekends, and I was like, "You know what? I really love this. Like, I really love this, and if I could just figure out a way to do this for the rest of my life, that would be amazing." Like, amazing. So, after finishing a full week's shift and everything else, I'd be going out and just doing unpaid,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
hurry up and wait kind of jobs, and, I mean, it's like enjoying the process, right? It's like the worst day on set was still so much fun for me,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah,
It could
yeah.
be 2 AM in the middle of February winter in Chicago,
Yep.
outside, icy cold weather, and
Yeah, I remember that.
everything, right?
Yep.
So that kind of, that planted the seed in my head, and then
Uh,
how I transitioned out of acting or out of medicine into acting is that my husband, who is also a doctor, he's still a doctor,
oh, okay.
he matched his residency in California, and so we were like, "Well, we've got some decisions to make," because for anyone who's not familiar with, how match works, it's kinda like a deployment. You have to go where
Uh,
they send you, you don't have a choice about it. If you
okay.
decide not to go, then you have to reapply a whole year later.
Wait, I need a little bit more context.
Mhm.
So matching? So it's like competitive? How a little
Yeah,
bit of context.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
when the med student
Huh?
submits to the residency programs, the
Huh.
specialty in what state and what,
Oh.
where they wanna go. So
Yeah.
they rank it, there's a list. And then
Oh,
the
okay.
hospital also, through all of their interviewees, has to rank who they want to accept. And if
Oh.
you guys match, then you match.
Oh, got
Hmm.
But
it.
you will not get your first choice,
Right.
depending on
Yeah.
how the hospital ranks, right?
And this always has to be at like an academic institution, like a UCLA
Yeah,
or
because they have to have
yeah,
Okay. It's like
correct.
speed
yeah.
dating. Got it. Okay.
It's like exactly.
Speed
When
dating for docs.
when you have
New
to go on
docs.
a date, and the date
Ah.
5 years long.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, got it. Okay. Thank you for the context.
Yeah, so my husband matched in California and, at Stanford, which is, like, an amazing
Yeah. Wow, wow,
institution.
wow. Yeah.
So it's kinda like, well, you have to go, like, you can't not go. But then it puts us in a position of like, well, what do we do? We've already done long distance for 2 years because I left
Ah,
Chicago for pathology,
yeah.
and, do we stay together long distance for another 3 plus years?
Right.
Do we
Eh,
break it off? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's a really tough position to be in, when it
Very.
comes down to a relationship, but I didn't love what I was doing, and it was making me so just I don't know, just tired and burnt out, and, like
On
I
a
said,
jolly path to depression.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right?
Chicago seasonal depression, right? 'Cause
Oh gosh. Oh boy. Yeah, I remember
things
those.
are so I was kinda like, "Well, how about this? Why don't you go to California? I will meet you there, and I will figure it out, right? I'm gonna start over anyways. Let me try something I love doing, and having an MD is not the worst backup plan, you know?
Ken Jeong,
Always be a doctor. I'll always be a
right?
doctor. I can open up a
Yeah.
Botox clinic or something
Yeah.
in
Yep.
California.
Sure can.
Yeah, so I moved to California and just really, like, immersed myself in trying to figure out how to do this whole acting thing, and I
Yeah.
found that one of the things that made me a horrible doctor was that emotional fortitude. No, seriously, like you were saying about, like, being a veterinarian,
Oh.
Yeah.
it's so hard, right? And part of the thing that
Yeah.
freaked me out was, like, it was hard having these conversations. It was hard having to be that person who has to deal with, these extreme situations in a person's life and just brush it off like, "Oh, it's just another day in my life." That was really, really challenging for me.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of like emotional
Yeah. You're an empath,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
however you wanna phrase it,
Yeah.
that sort of distance was very hard for me. It was hard for me to disconnect, and that is actually what makes, I think, acting so fun and rewarding is being able to tap into that side of
Hmm.
me and feel all the feelings and, at the end of the day, leave it behind because it's not real. Whereas in medicine, it was very real.
Totally makes sense. Now, and just the last disconnected in my brain, your husband went to Stanford.
Mhm.
Did you come to the Bay Area first, or did you go to LA and
No, I
just work
went to the
closer?
Bay Area first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there?
so we lived in, Mountain View,
Mm,
Yep,
yep.
sure.
and then I got priced out of that and moved to San
Yep.
Jose.
And now everyone's
San
getting
Jose.
priced out of that.
San Jose is just as expensive now.
It's
It's
so
So
all Google
funky.
territory now. Yep.
yeah, but
Yep.
that was a blessing in disguise too, because LA is such a competitive market.
Hmm.
Everyone moves to LA and everyone's trying to get their foot in the door and everyone's banging on, you're trying to it's really hard in LA if you are non-union, you don't have credits, and, it's everyone wants to know, like, well, what are you bringing to the table, right?
Hmm.
Although
Um,
here, although that shift, that union versus non-union, there's definitely I feel a shift right now, especially because of the strikes
mhm,
and stuff.
mhm.
So, it makes us like union members, our footing isn't as strong as it was before because people are going, FICOR and all that. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
it's,
it's
uh,
hard. It's just
it
hard.
it's evolving,
Yeah,
industry is
yeah,
evolving, and, as an actor, you gotta find what works for you, honestly. It's really hard as a union actor because all you can do is union work, and if you don't have necessarily, like, the credits to help back you up to get you into the rooms for fewer and fewer roles, for fewer and fewer projects, like, I mean, I don't blame anyone for going FICOR if that's what you need to do to
yeah.
continue being an artist and pay your bills,
Yeah,
you know?
especially, once there's more responsibility, you get married, then, friends
Mhm.
who've, chosen to have kids and stuff,
Mhm.
I'm like, "Can't
Yeah,
blame you."
yeah. Life comes first.
Yeah. Yep.
Were you
But
able? So you're able to book some roles from up here in the Bay Area, and
yeah,
kind of do some
because
of the.
it's a smaller market, and I got my foot in the door doing a lot of, commercial work. There's so much commercial work in the Bay Area that I mean, I didn't know any of this moving to California. I was like I didn't even know how far apart, like, San Francisco I was like,
You're
"I
good in
was
California.
4 hours apart."
Yeah, it's like Good Will Hunting, right? Well, his what's her name?
Oh,
Uh,
the Mini Driver.
yeah, she just went to California and he followed her. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, "I don't
That's
know. How
yeah,
hard can it be?"
yeah.
Well, it's
But
not
yeah,
that hard when you're in your 20s.
I just figured it out on the
Yeah.
way. I did
Yeah.
what I could, and then by the time I actually didn't even come to LA first. I From the Bay Area, I tried to get into LA, and LA just was not giving me auditions, was not like I couldn't get an agent to sign me, so
Mm.
Mm.
I actually went to the Southeast. I came all this way to
Oh, interesting.
California, and then I
Yeah.
ended up, going back out to Atlanta
Yeah.
for about 6
Makes
weeks.
sense.
Yeah, because
Yep.
a decade ago, Atlanta was on in the climb. Right now, it's kind of plateauing, but 10 years ago, yeah, it was on the upswing.
Yeah, everyone was talking about
Yep.
like, "Oh, Atlanta, Atlanta, Atlanta." I was like, "What?
Yep.
What's this Atlanta over there?"
Yeah.
And then when I found out it was a right to work state, so then you don't have to
Yes.
be SWAG, I was like, "All right, well, let me get out there." And then I realized there's not a lot of Asians.
Yeah, exactly, especially for that market being Asian, you're like one of,
Yeah.
like, 5.
Okay, I could fill a, a void. Um, and then I got my first agent out there and I got Stranger Things and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Excellent.
smart move to, yeah, go to the Atlanta market at that time. Yep. I'm like, "Yep, yep,
Um,
yep."
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yep.
So Jackie, while you're here, I know we're almost out of time with you, but besides Hunting Wives, since I guess a little bit of a hiatus, right? You just kind of have to wait until is there going to be a season two? Is there anything else that you're promoting or
Yeah.
looking
What
forward
should we
to coming
know?
up? Anything you've shot that we haven't seen yet?
Um, there is a horror movie that I'm going to be going out to Phoenix for in a couple weeks I'll,
Nice.
I'll be out there for I think a couple weeks filming.
Nice.
So Dog Sitter will get a lot of work.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that, I mean, we're actors. We're perpetually unemployed over here.
Yep.
So we'll see what else comes out of the woodwork.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
So hopefully the horror film, like, end of this year, beginning of next year, depending on their timeline, but
probably beginning of next year, we'll know
maybe.
more about like
Okay.
what there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, it's still on my bucket list." I totally wanna shoot a horror film. Either producing it or in front of the camera, but it looks so
Yeah,
fun.
horror movies are so much fun. They're
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of my bucket
Well,
list
look, fingers
genres.
crossed.
Yes.
You're a character with a name with multiple episodes in a show that is a huge hit
Yes.
on Netflix. There's
Yay.
Yeah.
got to be. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a like 2 season renewal announcement coming up soon. So
That'd be
we're
amazing.
gonna keep our fingers crossed. And
Yeah.
then look, those white women have to get racist and stuff. So there's plenty of juicy storylines for Jackie Dallas
Yeah,
coming up.
bitches.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, just to wrap it up then. So this is a question we always ask all of our guests. Since we're called United by Rice, we always ask everyone, what is your favorite rice dish? And rice noodles and whatever form rice can take counts.
I love sushi. I'm a
Ah, yeah.
fan of sushi. I don't know if that's a cop-out answer.
Not at all.
Um,
Yeah.
Totally, totally good.
poke bowls, yeah, I'm a big seafood fan. I eat
Nice.
everything. I eat meat too, but, like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, seafood, I'm a big fan of seafood.
Okay. So yeah, go to the sushi shack. Great. Awesome.
All right. Well,
Yay.
everyone, Hunting Wives on Netflix. If you haven't watched it yet, it is good, juicy television and
Yes.
twists upon twists to watch. So
Yeah.
thank you, Jackie, for joining
Thank
us, and
you.
looking forward to seeing your career continue to grow.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you.